were just playing with this earlier, so I thought I'd keep it on.
I'm sorry for the delay, ladies. Thank you for your patience. Like I said, you know what I mean? It's just, like I said, I'm not tech. I'm the total opposite of tech savvy. So I had to get the whole team to do this like I was a 5-year-old.
How many people do you have on your team that had to help you figure it out?
Like 2 or 3.
I mean,
how many men does it take to start a Zoom call?
He's on a legit set though.
No, but I wanna like, you know, do it to the highest level, because like I was telling Tiara, I have a lot of people that want to do this with me from all over the world, but I just don't know what I'm doing, so I want to make sure I get it right.
No, I didn't get a lighting. You lighting, I got options over here. I didn't know if I was gonna be on video. Yeah, I couldn't have multiple angles set up. Hold on, let me get you on another angle. Hold on. All right.
I don't have that.
Tiara, thank you so much for being patient with me and understanding. Like I said, my first time, it's a little bit, you know what I mean, a little rough around the edges. No. But I'm happy to be here with you ladies. I know you guys could be anywhere in the world, and you're here with me on Happy Munkey Live.
Only in our apartment. You can't go outside.
But I just mean, like, you know, virtually. So, you know, thank you guys for definitely rocking with us. We really appreciate it. I want the world to hear about what you guys do, how you guys are infusing sex and cannabis, and how you guys are taking the whole sex education culture to another level.
That we are. Yes. Thank you for having us. Happy to be here.
Of course, of course. So tell me, how did the dream team come together?
Wow.
How did your paths cross?
How do we know each other?
I just mean as far as like when you guys started this movement that you guys all decided like you were going to take this journey together.
Well, I mean, there's stories underneath of it. Like,
okay.
I
want all the juicy details of all the story.
Her old partner and I used to be lovers like years ago.
Tiana's partner.
How I originally got into the poly scene was through this one lover, and then he brought Tiana around, and I'm like, who is this queen? Holy shit. And then so he brought Tiana into my life.
And then you met Lola before I introduced you.
Well, we were talking today. I met Lola through our mutual friend Michael Bates.
Yes.
You know what? It was still via Tiana, because Tiana set me up on a tour of Lightning Society for some event that we were doing. So I went there to go scout it, and you happened to be there. So it was still Tiana that connected.
That's funny.
When it comes back to it, that
it's kind of like, you're like, how is the dream team assembled? You know, how do all these goddesses come together? Because there's 5 of us Spice Girls, you know? And so Tiana had come to some of I'm a sex educator. She'd come to some of my classes, and she was just always so enthusiastic. The joke was that like wherever Tiana left, there was a trail of glitter.
She's definitely got, that's one of the things I love about her. I always tell her that she's got like this, you know what I mean? Like this amazing soul glow to her, and she's got like some amazing positive energy that you could feel from a mile away.
Oh, thanks guys.
Definitely.
So Tiana was I think I had talked about how like I need help with what I'm doing, and Tiana was just like, I want to help, what can I do? And she just has this infectious energy, and just like she was so passionate about it, and she's like so patient and consistent and like everything that I wanted. So Tiana kind of became like my part-time assistant, and then my mentee, and now kind of my collaborator and my equal and all this great stuff. So she was kind of like my ride or die. I was kind of like, where I go, Tiana goes.
There's one of you guys missing, right? Because you said there's 5 of you, right?
There's 2 of us missing.
Oh, 2 more missing. Okay.
You just put my second camera in, Bill.
Oh yeah, I just saw something said admit in, so that's why I was like. So how did you guys decide as far as like forming like Voltron and actually, you know, becoming a movement?
Yeah. So I had contacted Aisha, who is one of the Spice Girls, and she runs like a porn cinema company. And I was like, I want to bring that and combine it with sex education. And we were figuring out how to do this. And then immediately I was like, can we get Tiana in here? She just like helps and makes everything easier and better. And she's a really hard worker. So we got Tiana in, and then like kind of also realized we still need a little bit more help. And Val, I had worked with her before, and she's like created all this kind of shit. It's like, okay, let's bring her in. And we put together our first event. And I think after that, Tiana's like, you know who we need? We need Amanda. And then Amanda kind of became our glue and our backbone. And that is how Voltron came together, is there was a need, we assembled a team, and we have these different 5 beautiful souls. That's how it was, I guess, from my perspective, how it all came together. It's just like, we need more cowbell. Where is the cowbell? And then it came.
Definitely. And
we've on this podcast.
And how long has it been since you officially formed like Voltron and decided to move forward?
Almost a year.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun, huh, ladies?
Our first event was July 30th, and I remember we brought Amanda on a little bit after that.
Well, I worked the first event. I did the porn confessional.
That's right. Okay, so it has been since end of July.
I've been there from the beginning.
Yeah. So we're almost at a year. This summer would mark our anniversary.
Oh, that's crazy. Time flies, huh?
Definitely.
So,
and it's great.
Is anything special going on for the anniversary?
Honestly, we're trying to survive this shit. We're all trying to survive
I did have an idea for the anniversary.
We're all gonna survive this.
Yeah, we're honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's the challenge of digital, and we're finding something new and connecting with more people, especially when, you know, there's this need, like people are exhausting their porn habits, and they're like, I need someone to tell me what to do because I feel like I have no control over my life. But we were planning an anniversary thing, but who knows when we get out of this, right?
So Tiara had told me that her main thing was, since I met her, that she has found ways to infuse cannabis into the whole sex culture and show people how it can uplift them and enhance their experience. Can you ladies tell me how does this work? I have a little bit of an idea, but not much.
Slicky Spice, take it away.
Yeah, I'll start off with that one. So it started with just my personal journey of my love of cannabis and enjoying recreationally, and then now moving into like more education and enjoying cannabis more medicinally. And so going to Lola's classes and understanding like risk and understanding, you know, taking your own personal responsibility, especially when combining kink or other like intense sexual kind of connections, because kink doesn't have to be sexual, it can be non-sexual, but depending on your scene, you may want to be more sober than others. So for example, like if you're doing a really intense impact scene, you probably want to be more sober than not sober, even with cannabis. And so learning these sort of things and how to like infuse them in a safe way, I then wanted to share that with other people. And so like Amanda used to work with this group of people. We will not give them any press or
they don't deserve any plug. I understand.
They don't deserve any clout. But these group of people, and they were a sex and cannabis club. But the way that they did it, I felt like really wasn't pushing it the way that I felt like we really could have. And so when I brought this to my team's attention, I was like, hey, I have all these amazing cannabis contacts. They really want to get involved in like the events that we're doing. How can we merge these together? And so they were really open and responsive and being like, yeah, let's bring these brands in. Let's, you know, exchange information. So we were basically able to, because we were at a facility that they have a liquor license and they're not allowed to bring in any kind of cannabis. They were even against CBD. So no kind of like hemp or cannabinoid of any kind. So what we did to get around that was create a silent auction where guests could bid on products that had infusions in them. And we even included products that had psilocybin in it, so that people get quality products that we know from vendors that we vetted and approved, that I've personally sampled their products of, so I could, you know, put forth my own testament to knowing that these are, you know, quality products and good for people, and the health benefits that go around them, so that we could educate people, as well as just like giving them a fun product to enjoy that they wouldn't necessarily have access to. So the team
I've also read articles that says that that they've done studies that when, you know, males and females are on cannabis, they're more likely to have an orgasm, they're more, you know, turned on, they're more relaxed. Is there any truth to this you guys have heard?
There is a bit of truth to it. I mean, everybody metabolizes cannabis different. I don't suggest people, if it's your first time with a partner, I say, you know, sober sex is better sex, until you get to know that person, and especially when you're talking about consent. But I definitely encourage it because cannabis, especially for women, it increases blood flow. And so that increased blood flow is part of like the arousal process. And then there's even like quality weed lubes. Like Lola is our spokeswoman for a weed lube called Floria. And they have a really great quality product that you can just like rub on your, the hood of your clit or like around your clit. And that will cause blood to like rush to that area, which will make it engorge, which will increase the sensation and stimulation. So that does does equal heightened arousal, which can lead to.
So it's like cannabis sex enhancement kind of thing.
A little bit, yes. Depending on how it's used, definitely. Because if you do too much of it, you'll pass out, and then nobody's having a good time.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
You gotta find the balance.
That doesn't sound so interesting.
I like to say that cannabis, just like anything, just like kink, just like tantra, just like anything, is more. It makes you focus and have more awareness on your body and how it's reacting to different things, and keep that focus there on your body, out of your mind, then that's a bonus. So you can use cannabis, you can use tantra, you can use kink, you can use all these things. But I fucking love hearing Tiana talk about cannabis and risk awareness as it relates to kink and sex, because I just don't think anyone else is doing that in the way that she does. In that, you know, a lot of times with talking about consent, a lot of people hear like, oh, you can't give consent if you're not sober and all these things, but like realistically, like we're not always sober. Like some people are, but like we want to be able to do different things. So Tiana's able to teach of like, how can we be responsible when we do these things and doing so. And I absolutely love like everything that she's teaching around that and the way she's able to articulate it.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else on the team have any comments, Amanda?
I mean, I think, of course, like, I just love to have stone sex. I think
So that's why I'm asking you, but do you think what would you say personally are the benefits, and what do you see that it heightens or it doesn't? Or...
Personally, I think it can help to have the sense of being able to feel the sensations in the environment around you more. So it makes you have a sense of like presence where you are, and when you have that connection with a partner, and when you're both a little stoned, you can kind of fall into, and like your rational mind can shut down a little bit, and this like intuitive, creative, playful mind can take over, and you can, like, I imagine like the energy flowing and the connection, and it allows like a deeper and just more interesting and fun, playful experience, like both with myself and with a partner. Like the other night I had a stone like goddess bath masturbation scene under the full moon that like blew my own fucking mind. It was so hot, and it was just like, you get stoned and I just drop into this meditative state and follow the energy, and like I just follow what feels good.
Now, one thing I can say personally that I know about cannabis, as far as like people connecting, like, you know, males and females or anybody that, you know, thinks about getting intimate, is that, you know, I ran cannabis events for a long time, and I noticed that there were more sexual connections that people ended up dating or ended up doing whatever in a cannabis friendly scene than in alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, you know, I feel like it's a great equalizer, and people get to engage in a better way and communicate, and they kind of like, you know, makes people less awkward.
Yeah.
How many people have had sex while they're using cannabis and their partner isn't?
No. I would never not had sex. I just mean like connect, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, vibe, like, you know what I mean? And then you find out they ended up dating and they ended up whatever, you know what I mean? But I just mean like that, you know what I mean? That these people, you could tell like in another setting, maybe like of alcohol, maybe wouldn't have been as outgoing to speak. And you know what I mean? So I feel like cannabis is a great equalizer. And I feel like when you're in a room where everybody that uses cannabis, it feels like, you know, like everybody's an equal and nobody feels like
a different experience. Like you're getting, I don't think it's about, my experience is not that it's an equalizer. My experience is like when you're drinking, it's like to get out of the situation and to forget. And when you're smoking and like engaging in cannabis, is to be more present and to connect more with the people that you're with. So it's the intention behind the substance, not necessarily like that what you're referring to.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I also think the beauty of cannabis, especially cannabis events, is that they're social, you know, like puff, puff, pass. Like it's in the culture.
Anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now everybody's smoking by themselves now.
Like people do puff, puff, pass with vapes. It doesn't even make sense, but we're still like etiquette, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Now you see the culture going like everybody's smoking by themselves because everything that's going on. And I think that's going to continue after this is over, and it's going to change a little bit of that, you know, sharing community a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen condoms that you can put on the tips of your vape pen. So if you want to share your vape pen, there's vape condoms.
What?
There's vape condoms. Yeah.
And that joint holder you have. You have that joint holder that's always.
Oh, like this. This thingy?
It's like that.
Now I want to ask you guys another question. I've been talking to a lot of friends and family and all kinds of people, and people are going through sexual withdrawals as far as like, you know, physically, because, you know, masturbation's cool, but we all know there's no replacement for actual physical contact, and a lot of people are having a tough time adjusting to this quarantine thing. What are your guys' opinion on that?
I just broke quarantine recently to get some booty, so I am literally at my partner's place right now, breaking quarantine.
I knew I didn't recognize your background. I'm like, where the fuck is she? Like, where is she?
But it's
I'm in the Bronx.
It's been tough, ladies and gentlemen.
I can take it. I'll take this one. So I just started dating someone. I am not allowed to see him until after the quarantine. So I haven't had sex for a month. But I think, so one thing is you're talking about withdrawals. I think that leads to the terms of.
Me and you're on the same boat. I'm the same way. I'm going through withdrawals also.
Oh, no, I'm not going through withdrawals, because when you say withdrawal, that means that likens it to an addiction. And I think we overuse the term sex addiction. That is a different thing. So I think the first thing is to ask yourself, why do you have sex? That's something that sex therapist Cindy Darnell asks. So do you have sex for orgasm? Because you can masturbate. Do you have sex for intimacy? Then how do you foster intimacy with yourself? How do you foster intimacy with someone else? And like, do you want to record a voice note for yourself telling you how to masturbate and listen to it a week from now and you don't remember what you said to yourself in a certain way? Quarantine is forcing us to get creative, whether it's with our like porn sex events, whether it's with our cannabis usage, whether we're watching movies with our friends on Zoom, which can be really fucking fun, or whether it's with our masturbation with our partners, whether they are physically with us or they are not. But it's figuring out what your needs are and creative ways that you can meet them. But I think of just saying if like my body needs sex and I'm not getting it, it's figuring out what it is that you're missing about sex, because it's probably more than just the physical act in that way. So I think it's a fabulous, fabulous time to be able to take stock with what it is that you're feeling or feeling deprived of and break that down as to what it is and where it comes from instead of simplifying it so much, because we have infinite time right now.
That goes into another thing I was going to sense into. I feel like there are, you know, obviously so many negatives to what's going on and the obvious, but I'm always a positive, optimistic person. So I try to look at the silver lining of things. And I feel like now humanity is like, we had lost a little bit of our humanity because everybody's so running and gunning. you know, media and all these different things, I feel like now people are going to cherish the little things, like, well, going to meet with your friends or going to do so many things we took for granted all our lives. I feel like when this is over, people will have a new appreciation for all these things. And I think hopefully it'll make humanity a little better than what it was before this.
Yeah, cross our fingers. My goodness. It's definitely affecting a lot of communities and people. I hear what you're saying about taking stock of like, why do you need sex? What is the context that you need? And at first I came here because I needed to do laundry.
That was a good one, Tiana. That was a good
my first need. And then there happened to be a lovely person that gives me wonderful dick.
It's just a bonus, huh?
That was
Pink
a bonus.
laundry stayed for the dick.
Yes, exactly. So yes, Lola, you're totally right. Taking stock. Why? What are you missing? So yes, no, it's very interesting. But I definitely have found that like I've been cutting back my cannabis usage. Like I don't smoke as much as like I would if I had this much time on my hands. Because I'm trying to like ration it and, you know, not like also get so high that I'm not productive during the day. So I'm trying to like stay, you know, sort of like balanced with like, okay, enjoying, relaxing, because I have nothing else to do with myself, but also like getting shit done at the same time. And then with the new warnings out there of like, you know, actually smoking is, you know, making you more susceptible to COVID because, you know, it's a respiratory disease. So trying to like do more edibles, but edibles are like weird for me because they're so yummy. Like all the edibles I get are always so freaking tasty. So I just want to devour them. And then, you know, that defeats the whole purpose of trying to balance not getting too high if I'm too stoned on edibles.
It's hard not to get too high on edibles.
Yes. So that's definitely been adjusting to that and my cannabis usage and dosing myself, trying to be.
It's been the opposite for me, Tiara. I just recently did an interview with the Post, and I've been smoking like twice as much. Because I'm usually like a really active, moving person, and I don't know what to do with myself, so I end up smoking a lot more than usual.
Yeah. No, I hear
have like weed rules for myself, and I've been smoking for like, I don't know, like over a decade, something really long, and I've had a couple burnouts, so I have like these weed rules for myself because I have a really low tolerance of like, I don't like working and teaching when I'm high, and I try not to get high during the day unless it's like when we were on a retreat. I'm like, that sounds like a good time to do it, but usually it's more so at night just because I don't know what things will come up during the day. So I actually made a goal of like New Year's in 2020. I wanted to smoke more weed. So just like do it a couple more nights a week, just because it's really good for my anxiety. But I feel like I've been like smoking more, doing more edibles, definitely more edibles, because edibles are really intense for me, but I have nowhere to go. Yeah. So I can be high for a really long time or sleep it off. But yeah, I feel like I've been smoking or taking edibles more often, but like I only do it at night, really.
Nice.
Now I want to talk about my next thing that I've been wanting to ask you guys, because I saw a little bit, because I attended one of Tiana's events and I got a little bit of a gist of it, about where the whole concept of the curated porn thing came about, and why did you guys feel it was necessary for society?
Yeah, that started because of Aisha. She was the main, I feel like, spearhead with that. And then we just jumped on her bandwagon and we're like, yes, we love what you're doing. And then we added in our own ingredients to it to make it like this delicious naughty gumbo. So that's definitely been a really fun journey. But we all enjoy porn, you know, that like billions of people.
That is unanimous.
You know,
I don't know, in different ways. I think Amanda and I watched the least porn out of everyone.
I never watched porn before this. Like,
yeah.
I never watched porn before this. Like,
you guys are going to live porn. You guys are going to like the real deal.
And that's the beautiful thing. Like our events are. Oh, sorry.
Well, why did you feel the necessity for the curation of it, because you know you go on internet and you can find all the porn in the universe, right?
And
But
that's
I felt like the curated one was necessary.
That was like one of Stoya's first major ones, right?
I have this in DVD form. Collector's edition.
So you can get all the porn in the world that's curated to your algorithm. So firstly, your porn is free. And when your porn is free, you have to ask who's actually paying for it. That's amazing. But to Amanda's point, there is so many types of people, man, woman, person, people who watch a ton of porn all the time and go straight to Pornhub, people that don't watch porn at all. And we're curating it so that you watch porn you wouldn't be exposed to, that's not in your algorithms. You might watch porn you like, you might watch porn you don't like, you might watch porn that turns you on, you might watch porn that makes you cringe, you might watch porn that doesn't even look like porn because it's kind of animated and you don't even know if you saw a dick or a pussy. There's all different types of things. There's probably not pirates though.
This is the sequel. This is the sequel.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Got both.
But I think that's why it's so special and why we're asking people to pay for them to watch something that they could get for free, because we're creating something that they would not normally have access to. We're also working with independent filmmakers so we're not, we're trying to support people that are like artists and create something different and say something different than what mainstream porn is trying to say and like expose us to. They only say this type of beauty is sexy, this type of beauty or body is hot, and we're trying to say, no, this type of beauty is also
and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That saying
Exactly.
It didn't come along by a mistake.
Yes. And there's also a lot of shame around porn, and so we're trying to destigmatize how people view porn and enjoy it and take away that shame from it so that we can have conversations about why do we enjoy that, or why was that upsetting to you, or, what surprised you? These are not conversations that you normally have in your normal porn habits. Or if you never watch porn, you're definitely not having these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
And so these are the things that we want to stimulate and bring out in people so that we can push the boundaries and have, even more empathy for what's happening in our world right now.
Yeah. Well put.
What else do you guys think that's groundbreaking about what your group is doing as far as like sex education and the way you guys are doing things than the other 100 million people that are doing different kind of sex movements or whatever? What do you guys think that you're doing that's one, curated porn? What other ways are you guys educating and doing things different than everybody else?
I think one big thing is that we don't push an agenda. We have 5 different women that are running this, and we're all so different and we bring such different things, and part of that balance is both with like the type of porn that we curate, the type of different things that we expose people to visually that aren't the porn experiences, whether it's different vendors, different experiences, different, whether it's like within tantra or rope, or it's a cannabis vendor or a vibrator vendor or whatever those things are, but really challenging people to think in different ways, accept different viewpoints, to challenge those things, and that no answer is wrong. It's just different and it's their own. So we're encouraging people to form a new relationship with that porn, or new relationship with porn in general, whether that's like, oh, I feel like I watch too much, or I feel like that like the type I watch is maybe harmful, or I don't watch porn and I don't watch it because of XYZ. Do you have a professional Zoom account, honey?
No.
It's gonna shut off after 40 minutes then.
And how long has it been?
Probably been 40 minutes because I just got
I told you guys popped my Zoom cherry. I had no idea what I was doing before the day.
I got that professional shit.
I put all this together in like 50 seconds. I don't know what I'm doing. I was telling Tiana.
I'll send the link out next time, bro. I got the fucking pro count.
So you're the plug, Amanda?
Yes.
So, real quick, let's get back into cannabis. What are you guys doing for 4/20, 2020? It's a historic date and a historic year.
What are we doing?
And a historic time.
Yes.
Love Thyself the night before.
Yes, we are. We're celebrating the Cannabis Eve is how we're kicking it off.
Cannabis Eve, I like that.
Yes. So all of us are part of an amazing conference that we're calling the Love Thyself Conference, and we're using the intersection of cannabis, kink, and masturbation and how we heal our trauma. So we have amazing speakers that are talking in these different categories, and then Lola is going to be leading us through a mutual masturbation session together. And
Sounds like a virtual orgy, Tiana.
it basically is.
It's like it basically is.
Yes, exactly.
And they're not.
Yes, exactly. Amanda knows all about that life. So yeah, and what we're doing to bring in more of the cannabis community is we're partnering with an amazing company called Cultivate SaaS, where we're creating $30, $60, and $90 bundles that people can purchase. And the value of those bundles is actually more than that, than the cost that people are paying. And we're encouraging them to buy those bundles before the event so that we can all enjoy them and imbibe together at the time of the conference.
That sounds like a good way to bring in this historic time. You know, for 2020, it's like a big deal. It's like the Super Bowl of cannabis.
It is.
So you guys know what we're gonna be doing is, you know, we got a lot of different platform guys. So what we're gonna do is like, you know, me and my partner are gonna be like in one place, then another group is gonna be there. We're gonna go live from all our platforms on different areas at the same time. And like everybody's gonna be smoking at the same time.
Hey. Nice. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, so let them know. It's for people for all genders, but that identify with feminine energy, because we want to keep it as
Happy Munkey. I don't know if you guys know this. We're feminists. I told you this when I met you. We're feminists.
Hey, good to know it.
Connect with that feminine energy.
Yes, intersectional feminism. Let's be clear. Let's.
Okay. See, I don't know all the technical terms like you guys do. I'm just learning, but I know that we know women created the earth, and we're like pro-female from the beginning. Most of our followers, like 60-70%, are females, and we've always been, you know, trying to cater to them in every way we can.
Nice, amazing.
Well, they can cater to themselves now.
Yes. So yeah, we're going to be the 419 is for femme energy, and then we're going to be doing a follow-up one for masculine energy. So it's going to be very similar, intersection of cannabis and kink again, and then talking about more masculine and male derived issues as opposed to femme and female.
You guys are always doing groundbreaking things in the sexual industry, and you guys are changing the narrative, the perspectives on everything, which is really good, because it's just crazy. Like 2020, you know what I mean? Everybody does it, everybody loves it, but still people try to make it taboo, which is crazy to me.
Absolutely, yes. But having these conversations is what helps.
1000%, definitely. Like I said, you know what I mean? That's a common denominator, no matter what race, religion, or anything anybody is, everybody enjoys sex. So understand why it's like, you know what I mean? People try to make it so taboo and try to like not have open dialogue about it. Like if you're talking about like the Boogie Monster or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, for sure.
But you guys are helping change that with all your different, like basically what I understood from Lola is just like you're changing the perspective, like basically saying that there is no one perspective. Everybody has a perspective on sexuality, and it's all okay. And this is true.
Yes.
It's a personal thing. Whatever floats people's boat or tickles their pickle, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So there's no magical box for that. You know what I mean? People always try to put things in boxes, and I think you guys are erasing the boxes away.
As long as it is right and true for you and is not harming other people, like live into it, breathe into it, like be you. Like who gives a shit? This is a weird ass time. Like there's no other time that we have like as much freedom to be like, fuck it, you want to put your ass out on the internet? Fucking put your ass out on the internet.
Yes.
I have a saying, right, guys? And it goes with what you just said, right? Amanda, I always tell people, you know, we all have morals, principles, and values that we hold dear to ourselves. As long as you can look at the woman in the mirror or the man in the mirror when you go to sleep at night and you like what you see, meaning like you're okay with yourself and your decisions, you can't, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? you know, about you, like, you know, being okay with what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Instead of trying to please society and fit into all these boxes and do all these traditional things that, you know, you're supposed to be, you're not supposed to be. I think by 2020, people have to change this mentality, and I think you guys are helping that very much.
We're trying to. We're definitely trying to. It starts by sharing our own personal journey and being authentic within ourselves. And I think that's what resonates with people, is that authenticity of just like, we're not just talking about this, like we're living it, like we're doing it, you know, like this is from our personal experience, but also like what we've learned, you know, so there's like a foundation there, and as well as just like lived experience that like, you're not going to question me on this because I've been there. You know?
As they say in the neighborhoods where I grew up at, you walk it like you're talking.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? That's important because, like, you know, it's like you're not living a lie. You're not preaching. You're not telling somebody to do something that you wouldn't do, which is very important.
Exactly. Yes. And I feel like that's what cuts through the noise. Like, that's why, you know, there's so many, like, there's a lot of people doing, like, talking about sex education. There's a lot of people talking about cannabis. There's a lot of people, you know, showing porn. There's even other porn festivals, you know? So it's just like, how do we differentiate ourselves? It's like being authentic and like being true to like what we're doing, and we're starting to have like really laser focused about like what our brand goals and missions are right now. And I think that's really helping us like get the message out there because it's very clear and concise.
I think as long as you're living your truth and, you know, you believe in it wholeheartedly, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? I think that's going to resonate to the world. And I think that's why you guys have made such a good impact in such a short time, in a year where, you know, you guys are already doing a lot of different events, and, you know, you guys have a nice following on media. And, you know, I think it's only going to get greater later for you guys because you guys are speaking your truth. And you're not like trying to mimic what anybody else is doing. You guys are creating your own lane. And I always tell people it's better to be, you know, small in your own lane than be big in the trail of somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what we're doing, is like, what do we want to see because it's not out there? And that's definitely a part of it. Definitely when we had to like switch, because all of our events are in person. Like, a big part of what makes our event special is that we have a cuddle puddle area at the front of the auditorium where we show our films. And so, you know, taking away these sort of elements and resetting and like this new normal was very jarring at first. I could speak for myself. I feel like everybody else in our team, like, we just like did a little trip, but then like caught ourselves, and now been able to do a digital version of what we do. And not only that, like, we did what we did every other month at House of Yes and put it together. We're doing what we're doing now weekly. And so to transition from an event that's like bi-monthly to now weekly has been like a whole other, you know, way of like, okay, let's set this up, you know, who's going to be doing what. And then like starting out really small and simple, and now trying to like grow and expand upon that so that we can like just inject more of like what we were able to give people in person, now more virtually, as well as like our mission of like supporting local artists, supporting sex workers, you know, because these are the people that are really hurting right now. And on top of that, we're trying to bring in like local restaurants and like helping support that. So because it's called the Brunch Munch, we're trying to like get a discount for local restaurants.
I saw that.
Yeah.
What does that entail? How is that working?
Yeah, so you order your food the day before, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay. If you're in like Greenpoint area of like their delivery zone. This is the first time we're doing it, so we wanted to start out kind of small and then see if we can like grow it from there. And so basically, once you place your order, you'll get your food the next morning in time to eat for the Brunch Munch. So that way you have your brunch there. You know, I do a roll up, so like Amanda usually rolls up. So we're smoking weed, we're eating our breakfast, drinking wine, drinking Prosecco, you know. Like,
on Saturday. It's the best way to
You bring the cereal, we'll bring the porn.
But you know what? Yeah, I believe that all this that you just mentioned, you having to get creative because, you know, things, the norm got changed. You can't do events like you used to. I think when this is all said and done, you're gonna have everything you had before plus more, because this is gonna make you so much more creative and so much more adaptable to whatever situation comes your way and your company's way, that you're gonna be able to adjust and adapt even better.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what we're putting towards. So we're definitely still planning like our future for when this breaks, you know, but like also being realistic and present, like Amanda said, of just like, okay, we're in this shit now. What are we going to do about it? So talking about now, but also future planning at the same time, and just being realistic about what our own boundaries are. That's what I really love about working with this amazing group of women, is that everyone is just very honest about like how they're feeling in that moment, that day, whether that's good, bad, or ugly. And then we just like rally around that and support that energy however it comes. And then we put on the, like Aisha always says, she, you know, you put on the altar what you want, and then everybody else just picks it up, you know, what they feel like they can handle. And that's kind of how we, you know, go. We like all creative, we're very creative people. We throw all our ideas out there and they're really big and bold. And then from there, we scale it back. What's actually realistic? Who wants to take responsibility for what? And then once you take on that responsibility, you then are expected to execute it, you know, accordingly. But if you can't, we also want you to take personal responsibility and say, guys, shit hit the fan. You know, I couldn't do what I said I was going to do. Can somebody help me out with this? You know, or I need an extra day from my deadline that we had originally started, you know, so that way we all still stay on the same page. We can all still support each other and still get the job done at the end of the day, because what really doesn't matter is what happened around the scenes, as long as like the production gets made, you know, like doesn't care how the hot dog is made as long as there's a hot dog. Like, and we're good at making some good fucking hot dogs right now. Like we're like really solid on like our hot dog formula. So it just feels really good.
As long as, from my personal experience, everybody thinks like, you know, as far as Happy Monkey, like I have some crystal ball and I have some magic trick. And it's a lot of what you said. It's just that I have a great team. We all have a mission. Nobody is above the mission. And as you said, it doesn't matter how it gets done, as long as it gets done. And we put the brand above us all. And like you said, whoever does it doesn't matter, as long as the goals get met. You know what I mean? And that is the major thing. And as long as you have that synergy and that trust with your team, everything else can be fixed. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It feels like that. Yeah. No, we're all in. We're like, we're committed to each other.
So, Miss Sex Educator, do you have any words of wisdom for all the people going through pain and situations at home, Miss Lola, that, you know, are used to having contact with people, and, you know, they're having a tough time adjusting, not being able to, you know, and socializing, all these different things?
Yeah, it's tough, but you know, pain is necessary, suffering is a choice. I think we have to take time to being able to mourn and grieve, and that is totally necessary. But I think with that, it's that this is a situation, we can't change it. We can just be able to accept that and know that it is temporary, it is not forever, and figuring out ways to make the best of that. And you know, it's easier said than done, because like mental health is fucking real, anxiety is real, depression is real. But just knowing that this isn't forever, and finding any little small thing that just gives you some sort of spark or hope. Maybe that's knowing that you're going to like get in a Zoom call with your girls at a certain time, or maybe that's knowing of like, okay, at this time I can roll up, or I can like reward myself with whatever this thing is. But finding different ways, or people are reaching out to be able to pass the time. Like I think people are getting really like desperate and really creative at the same time too. So we're very desperate for connection now. And I think in a positive way of looking at it, we're more aware of how much we need that and how much we take it for granted. I think
appreciate it a lot more now.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, I'm really curious and I'm really excited to see how the world changes, how we change after we come out of this. I mean, and honestly, like, I wouldn't hate this because like part of quarantine's been a little bit fun. But like, the earth is pretty happy that we're not fucking around on it anymore. So maybe we have a quarantine 1 month a year for fucking Earth Day every year. I wouldn't hate it.
You just get locked up.
You choose your person, you're gonna hunker down, you get your groceries, 30 days, we all come out, the earth's a little happier.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I want to ask you guys a cannabis question. Each one of you guys, ask everybody mostly that I've ever had on Happy Monkey Mediums. What was it your first time smoking, and walk us through that? How was it? How did that start?
Whoa.
Start with you, Tiana.
Yes. I feel like I was kind of a late bloomer compared to most of the potheads that I know that have the tolerance level that I have, I should say. So I was 19 and I had just like left the house, like living on my own. And I had a roommate who smoked weed like sometimes, and she was studying biology at City College. And so she was kind of the first pothead that I knew that like was studying science, like not living in their parents' basement. So I was just like, okay, like maybe not all, pot isn't so bad if like Sarah does it, and she's like, maybe going to become a doctor or research, something or other. And so I tried it with her, and we made these like amazing tacos. I think they were amazing because we got high, but we like made that a tradition of like Taco Tuesday, roll a joint, get high together, devour tacos. And that was like my intro.
Do you remember what it was? If it was like a joint or a blunt, what kind of weed it was?
It was probably a joint because she was rolling them in backwoods. I mean, a blunt because she was rolling them in backwoods.
Okay, so it was a blunt. Okay.
Yeah.
You remember what kind of weed it was?
Bronx, whatever they gave
It
you.
was that brick backyard boogie. Okay, that's how we all start. Don't worry about it.
It was whatever they gave me.
And after that, when did you start becoming a frequent flyer, getting higher on a regular basis?
Then it actually, I started dating a guy who smoked a lot of weed. And then because I was hanging out with him a lot, I would smoke because he was smoking, and that became more habitual for me. And then after we broke up, I cut back a little bit until, I guess I went to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam reset my fucking tolerance. And like, I was like,
that's like cannabis paradise.
It was a whole nother level, So then when I came back to New York, that's when it was just like, okay, I can light them up, because like me to get that high, I could never get that high again. Like it was just like chasing a unicorn. It was, so yeah, that kind of going to Amsterdam fucked up my tolerance, and I was like, I've been a crazy smoker ever since. I've had some breaks. I've had to take some breaks because it was like more of a negative than a positive. And so I've had to take like a month off and then come back to it, and then engage and enjoy it in a different way. So now I have to ask myself, like, why do I want to smoke? Am I smoking because it's a habit? Like, I just have like this oral fixation, I just need something to do, especially in this time where I'm like sitting around a lot more. And so it's like, is it a habit, or is it like, no, it's actually been a while and I am feeling a bit anxious and I would enjoy it, or I would like to masturbate, and so I'll smoke a J and then rub one out, or right before sex or after sex or in between sex.
That sounds great. Thank you for sharing, Tiana. How about you, Amanda? How did your cannabis journey start?
My first time I have not told this story in a long time.
That's good. We want all the juicy stories that you haven't told in any other platform. That is the whole goal of the mission.
I was really young the first time I got stoned.
Don't worry about it. So was I. How old are you?
13.
Okay, I was like 11, 12. It's all right.
So I was like spending the night at a friend's house, and we had snuck out of the house to hang out with like these older dudes and like somebody's house whose parents were gone. So we had the whole house to ourselves. And I just remember there being a trampoline in the backyard, and just it was my first time drinking and my first time smoking.
Both the same day. That's a
wow.
Like,
Go big, girl.
It was like Jack Daniels to the face. It was just like, and then like I think we were smoking bongs. It was just like
taking that good old bong rip.
And I remember laying on the trampoline and just like looking up at the trees and like seeing the trees in a way that I've never seen trees before. And I was like, I love this. Then I had my first hangover and I was like 13. My parents picked me up and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, oh fuck. So I got all the things in one night.
That sounds like an amazing night right there. It sounds like a roller coaster of a night.
Classic Amanda.
I know, and I think we actually went to a pool, so I think I got to go like drink Sprite and lay at the pool the rest of the day. So like it is a pattern that has been repeated time and time again throughout my life.
And when after that did you start smoking on a consistent basis, Amanda?
Well, I always heard that your brain is still developing until you're 25, so I didn't want to smoke too much weed before 25, so it was a pretty light cannabis user until I hit 25 and I was in grad school, and it became more consistent, more of like a way to manage like stress and relaxation as part of grad school. And then I moved to, and then I don't know. Yeah, and then I like weed.
Thank you for sharing, Amanda. That's a great little adventure story of how you started. Last but not least, Miss Lola, sex educator. Let's hear about her cannabis adventure.
I don't know if I can remember like that many details of it, because like I feel like a lot of like nights after that just replicated it. So I'm like, which one was the first? I remember the first time I got caught with weed by my parents, and their main concern was just more of that like, cool, just don't keep it in your car. Because my brother had already been through that with them.
Oh.
But the first time I think I got high was, I remember of like, firstly, like I am like a Jewish gal in Baltimore, and like, I think Jewish people just have a general stereotype of like being stoners. And I found that to be very true. But I think it was around like 15 or 16, probably 16, because I think I was driving or friends were driving. And it was definitely bong rips. Like that was the method of choice of
the
like
bong rips.
Time. Yeah. I like just learned how to roll a joint like a couple weeks ago. Like I've been going straight bowl bong, and I still have a low tolerance to this day. So like usually people are just rolling a joint for me, and I'm like, cool, whatever. But that, yeah, it was definitely bong rips, and it was and like coughed like a bitch, which I usually still do to this day as well. So I remember that bit, and then otherwise, yeah, I just like enjoyed it. I don't really do any other drugs besides weed, and only recently with these gals, I did my first like mushroom trip, and what my mushroom trip made me realize is that I love weed. And it's so much, I got like a tummy ache when I wasn't feeling it that much. I was like, it kind of feels like weed, except weed's better. So I took more and I got a stomach ache. I'm like, you know what doesn't give me a stomach ache? Weed. You know what makes a stomach ache feel better? Weed. I had a really rough hangover that I don't usually get when I was in London a couple weeks ago, and like weed saved me. It saved me.
So thank God for weed, and thank for you. Since you 15, you said it was like 15, 14?
15, yeah. Or no, it was 16 because I was driving. So 16, yeah.
So 16, that romance started, and then still going to this day.
Yeah, we had, it's been an on and off relationship, and honestly, it's like a couple years on, I'm like, I shouldn't do this anymore. I'm like, I think I'm ready to again. And I just had to find the ritual that was right for me of like when to smoke, when not to smoke, how often to smoke, finding like what agrees with my body chemistry.
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah.
Ladies, it's time for the $1 million question that we ask everybody that's ever been on any kind of Happy Monkey interview. I'm interested to know each one of your answers. if you had to describe Happy Monkey, the brand, the movements, the events, anything you know about it in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say disruptors.
Okay, that's interesting. Why disruptors?
Because you're trying to do different things within the cannabis industry. You're trying to bring together different people. And I appreciate that. And I find out of all the spaces that I've been in, I've felt the most comfortable in your guys' spaces, in your events. And like, I've made the deepest connections with other people at your events too. And I don't really network when I'm at the other events. I'm like, in and out, see what I need to see, you know, like talk to who I know. But like, I want to chill, I want to hang, I want to get to know, I want to see who's there. I'm definitely more engaged in the people at your events when I'm there. And so that to me is a different environment and a community that I appreciate. And
Thank you for those kind words, darling.
Yeah.
Amanda, you're next up on the plate. Like I said, I don't mean specifically the events. I mean, I don't know if you know everything we do, like the whole brand as a whole, whatever you feel you represent or comes to
the first word that came to my mind was playful. That you're like, have a sense of like doing it and just like having fun with it and just like, let's just try it and see what happens.
That's a good one. Nobody ever used that one, playful.
Yeah. It's okay, like, let's fucking play. Let's see what we make.
Let's play.
Why not?
Thank you for those kind words. That was good. Lola, last but not least, what is your take on it?
I was not as aware of y'all before this as much. So the word I think it was just the word approve, because I think my only awareness was like y'all were like commenting on some of my social media shit and just being like, Happy Monkey Podcast approved. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you approved of me.
That's funny.
So approved is my one word.
Yeah.
Well, I got a word for your movement, and I think you guys are groundbreaking. Thank you guys for what you do and for trying to definitely make, sexuality more mainstream, less taboo, and it's definitely appreciated and necessary.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, guys, I think we covered almost everything. I wanted you guys, I guess, to let the people know anything you guys got coming up, where to find you,
community announcement,
etc.
Hey. We have, you can find us on Instagram at PTP Experiment. And then we can give our individual Instagrams as well. We do a brunch munch, which is curated porn that then we talk about every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a Zoom live stream that we co-host together. And it's a lot of fun. Now we're incorporating different performers into it and interviews. So trying to expand upon that. And my Instagram is Glitosaurus Rex.
Kidding.
That's it. Everybody said
I'm
everything they had to say.
I'm at lolajean.com on all social medias.
There you go.
Rev Rucifer. I'm all over. Same, Reverend Rucifer, Rev Rucifer, like all the same everywhere. Come get
Find one of us, you'll find us all.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys taking out the time to, explain all the amazing things you guys are doing, for sharing all these amazing experiences with us. We appreciate you. Remember, you guys are all too blessed to be stressed. And hopefully we will see each other in the near future sometime.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Actually in person.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Like, I miss you. Like, I miss hanging out and seeing you and you just popping up.
Well, we're gonna have definitely hopefully a big get together when this is all said and done. And I look forward to definitely.
Also, you're invited to my birthday party next Saturday. I just sent the invite out. I need your email.
All righty.
The
Thank
talent
you.
show. It's
Thank
Saturday
you.
night, April 18th. Bring your best talent.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm happy you were born, so I'll definitely be participating.
Right.
So guys, like I said, thank you guys for everything. Look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. I hope you guys, you know what I mean, keep on, you know, setting trends and breaking barriers. Until next time, peace, love, and happiness. All right, guys?
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.